So did anyone else find it odd that last week this guy was selling Red Death, a weapon that's against Vanguard policy, in the Vanguard Hall? What's going on, gamers? This is DBMgamer, and one of the things that I like to do is I like to bring you guys some of the news that's going around all of the Destiny communities. So before I get into that, I have to get to my shoutouts. My shoutouts is how I show appreciation back to the community that has gotten me this far. So I want to give shoutouts to the Lady Medina, Timothy Burnside, Eric Dong, Kyle Burns, and Alexander Lee. So first and foremost, yes, Iron Banner is back in town. Now each time Lord Saladin graces us with his presence, the goodies that he's selling changes. Now this go around we have access to Jolder's Hammer, a heavy machine gun that's pretty similar to the Against All Odds machine gun that you can buy from the Crucible vendor, and Similar's Wrath, an auto rifle that looks eerily similar to Atheon's Epilogue. Now of course the advantage of the Iron Banner gear is that you can re-roll the stats for something a little more customizable. But looking at the gear that we already have easy access to, I wondered, was this mix of guns enough to get people into the Iron Banner this go around? The answer is barely. I ran a poll and here's the results, with 41% saying yes, the gear was worth it, and 35% saying no, it wasn't. Now as for myself, I fall into that 24 percentile, playing the Iron Banner for other reasons. I still want Timur's Lash to drop, and I may grab Jolder's Hammer just for funsies. Now in Bungie's weekly update, they discussed some of the new features that will be coming in patch 112. Now one such notable is the option to control music by muting it and adjusting the game volume and chat volumes. Now options in my book are always welcome, so this is a change that I think is great. But by far the best feature I think will be this new colorblind option. Now this will give you the ability to tweak some of the colors on the screen with some presets. Now the reason why I find this interesting is because a few people may remember back in Battlefield 4 they brought in a colorblind mode and it actually improved the multiplayer. Now the high contrast of colors on the screen makes some of the things more noticeable. Now have a look at what the radar looks like with this color mode engaged. Now look at that high contrast yellow. Yeah, that's what immediately jumped out at me. So if you're a fan of Crucible, you may want to give this color option a try when it comes down the pipe. The last thing that was hinted at were details on more vault space. Well, if you know the Destiny community, there are always a few options while we wait. Now if you remember that last update, we got the option to make it a bit easier to move your gear around, using your smartphone or even using your Bungie.net account on your PC. Well guys, check this out. This is the Destiny Item Manager plugin. This, in my opinion, is actually superior to what Bungie already has. Now you can see all of your gear at one time instead of digging through submenus, and one of the other advantages, loadouts. Yeah, you can make your own Void Burn Nightfall setup, or like I did here, an Iron Banner PvP setup. Now if you use Google Chrome, you have access to these extra features for the low price of free. That's right guys, so I'll put that link in the description box if you'd like to try it out. Now lastly, Bungie is making some changes to Bungie.net. They are removing the option to log in with Facebook and Google+, making you log in only with your Xbox or PSN accounts. Now the reason for this change to me is pretty obvious. The goal here is to weed out a few of the trolls that plague the Bungie.net site. And man, any effort to get rid of lame ass trolls, it gets a thumbs up in my book. Well guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to go ahead and get in some more rounds of Iron Banner. So if you like this type of content, just click that like button or leave a comment on why you're in the Iron Banner or why you're skipping it this go around. Or if you want to see more, just hit that subscribe button. But as always guys, have a good one.